Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. Oh. I've got the wrong one going, and I don't want to end up getting feedback. Ignore the thing on the bottom. I got to get that ticker going off because that's the wrong one. And so there we go. Ignore that. Was what a day, what a game, what a performance, I'm completely flabbergasted, and I will definitely take it. I've pulled up some of the magic number stuff, and so that we can end up talking about that as we go through things, and hopefully I get that right and figure all that sort of stuff out. But it was an absolutely glorious Tuesday. Competitor for Cannon for goal of the match. I'll let you guys talk about that one. That the second goal there that Mullen ended up scoring that went all the way down. You've got Barnett getting on the score sheet early in the 21st minute. We'll talk about all of that and more here at the After 90 Minutes as we're joined over time with the gang over the local pundit, whether that be Sheldon, Sheldon's in Wrexham, so I don't anticipate that he will actually be joining us, but I believe that Josh is, or Ivan. Or you can join in too and share your thoughts. It could be just me, remembering that Matt from the Racecourse Ramble joins us frequently, but he's at the game. Baz joins us frequently, but he was at the game. And so here I am just locking it down as we go through the chat, and you guys get to share your thoughts on what's happening, and that's my take on it too. It doesn't matter if Stockport win or not. It's just about us. But that was a great day as we go through. Barnett, Mullen with 2. My notes are such chicken scratch that I'm going to have a tough time figuring out exactly who scored there. You had the Cannon with his off of the Lee Nick in the 76th minute. And then me, if you weren't watching on the live party, putting the jinx out, I was playing an Algonquin's goal celebration video to reward him for his efforts. And while I was playing it, Crawley scores on that corner. So yeah, he was doing a vlog, and so he's there and living life open. Hi, Daniel. How are you? Pleasure to have you. For those of you who haven't been here before, wherever you are watching, we are streaming through multiple different providers. I didn't check. I see that we are on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different locations. So whether that's on Twitter, whether you're joining us on YouTube, whether you're joining us on Facebook, feel free to have a comment. It'll all make it up over here and be uniformly connected. We're all connected to chat. You have the opportunity to chat with me wherever you are. Go down the description below and it will have a link, and that link will connect you with us. And I'm going to pull that link so that I've got it copy and pasted, and we will largely just talk about the game that was and what it means for us moving forward of trying to secure ourselves a spot automatically into League One next year. So let's grab that After 90 Minutes. I'm going to grab that link and I will send it forward to everybody so that you guys have it. Let's go to the chat over here. And boom, Cryptics joined us. That's awesome. Australia being able to join on these ones a little bit easier because it's not on at ridiculous o'clock in the morning. Could be performance of the season. Aaron, I think you're definitely right on that one. Everything was clicking today. The passes, we were just there, that section, we were just running downhill at them, right? Just absolutely running downhill at them. And so I'm going to bring up the magic number stuff just so that I can assess this. And I'm going to bring up the League Two standings beside it, so that I can make sure that I've got this right with the current status of the table. I'm talking about this live, so let me take a little bit of time to make sure that I've got all of it right. The easiest way for me to look at magic numbers, which I've got being reduced down to 5. You can argue that it's 4 because of goal difference, right? Mansfield being the only team that, although they're below us on points by 3 points, them taking third, them taking second is of no consequence. The line is between 3 and 4. So I'm going to be focusing on everything MK Dons and below. MK Dons, they have a maximum number of points that they can get at 83. They've still got 3 games left. That's 12 points. That puts them up to 80. No, that's 9 points. Sorry, that's why it didn't work. That's why I'm going to talk my way through this. 3 points, 3 games left, times 3 points, puts them up to a maximum of 9 points. You add that to the 74, puts them at 83, and then you add 1 for the goal difference, just to make sure. And that's why our magic number really is 5, and that's who we're viewing. They've got the highest number of maximum points available from everybody that's there. So we can clinch with a win. That gives us 3 points. A draw would put it to goal difference, and a loss by the MK Dons would put us into auto promotion. So you can fight next week about whether you want to support Mansfield or not. assuming that my math is right there. Barrow, their max now is 82. They've got 5 games left because they were postponed today. They can 5 games left. That's 15 points. You add that to their 67 that they've got. That means their maximum is 82, and we can, with a win, draw equal to their maximum point total, which they'd have to make up 12 goals on the run to be able to make it up. If they draw or lose, we get it full and clear. As to Crew, we're equal with them on their max points now. They're at 79, and everybody else is officially mathematically eliminated. Crawley is now gone. Their max is 77. So Crew, I mean, any draw by them, any draw by us, right now as it sits, if we were to not get any points and they won throughout, the best that they can do is tie us. So they'd have to make up 15 goals. So really, they're eliminated. It's Barrow, it's MK Dons, those, and arguably Mansfield. Those are the 3 teams that we're looking at to move. So things are looking glorious. Things are looking great. And I've got somebody in the chat. So let's go ahead and add them. Cryptic, how are you, sir?
Oh, so happy, so happy. You're looking as far down as Barrow. No, look, this is almost done and dusted.
I just realized my volume's off, so give me a second here, and then you can fire it up. Go ahead.
You're good. I'm just saying that I think you're giving Barrow a bit too much credit, and maybe us not enough. I think it's between us. Yeah, I think that's it, really, us and MK. And given that they're 5 behind, I just don't see them turning that around.
Goal difference with Barrow, goal difference with MK. I mean, those are big asks, right? Even the difference between I didn't update, I guess, the goal difference tally. We're now at 27.
Yeah, it's a dozen.
16. That's a massive haul for them to go over. Goals for is the third tiebreaker, and that's a little bit closer for them. So you probably want to win it on goal differential, but we're in a very, very, very good state right now.
It could well be over by the weekend.
Yeah, it could. It could.
Because what we want, we're actually looking for Mansfield to beat MK. Would be preferable for us, yeah, or the other way around, a draw.
Well, a draw puts us equal on points, and a win is clinch outright. Does it really matter? Do you care about second and third? I mean, I guess it depends. Do you think that us and Mansfield are in the hunt for the championship?
No, Stockport's to lose. Really, they'd have to fall over, for us to get in.
As I've got the math here on first blush, a Mansfield win, it's over. If it's a draw, that would be a loss of 2 points for the Dons. They'd be to 81. Oh, you know what? We would still clinch outright. Outright.
That's what I mean. It's all we need is points this weekend, and we're up. So long as MK.
It's like a guaranteed clinch weekend this weekend, and as long as MK doesn't win. If MK wins, then we delay the inevitable. It's looking like it's the inevitable, although I hope not to jinx it with.
You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself until it's actually official, but it's almost actually official, isn't it? We would have to fall over and score nothing from here which is possible. There's no reason we couldn't do it. I'd just rather we wouldn't. So I'm assuming it hopefully be over this weekend at the racecourse, and I'm sure that's what Parky will be aiming for. And for me, he was man of the match. Everybody played well, but Parky's tactics. Yeah. I think his tactics worked brilliantly. Of course, we had the players executed the plan well and with skill and flair when required. Just a brilliant night all round. But the defensive effort's what won the match. We let them have that rubbish ball and just stopped them with anything close to goal until the very end there. It would have been nice to have kept a clean sheet, but hey, 4-1 and
the celebration video playing at the time on the watch party at the time that the goal went in. I was off camera at the time, and I was like, "No, I did that."
But it was so quiet after the goal that even their fans were like, "Oh, okay, fair enough, yep," and they'd already,
Just no more Wrexhamming it. Just one more. That's Luke. I think you've hit the target right there. And beat Forest Green is really the only thing that matters against God. If we do that, we're laughing and we're secure. And then it becomes is there enough runway to potentially catch Stockport if they happen to hit a horrible? But Stockport's got an easy run in. I don't care. They seem to
Yeah.
care. Have you been
Again,
following on Twitter? Stockport County really trying to push a rivalry, and you know, I don't give two craps.
they're looking for relevance, mate, and clicks. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
but this is all about us. If we can't beat and if we can't relegate Forest Green, we don't deserve automatic.
I'm with you there.
So even as well as they're playing, given that they're battling for survival, whatnot, at that stage and at home, if we don't do it, we'll deserve to go to extra squeaky bum time on the ladder. But I'm well and truly expecting us to do it this Saturday night. So I hope the house is ready to be awake at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Ridiculous o'clock in the morning. You have to be happy with the change on the crew time to be able to move. Now I get to feel what you guys feel having to wake up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, this was a 4:45 kickoff for me, so I was up at 4:45 for the team drop and whatnot. So still relatively early, but at least it wasn't a 1:45. So I got a couple of jobs this morning that I will get ready and go to. Not quite yet, but not too long after this, and enjoy the rest of the week with a smile because it didn't seem we had any injuries. We played a few players, gave them some minutes at the end. I wonder, are we putting Jordan out there to get the plaudits before summer? Because we haven't seen a lot of him this year. Same with Hayden, not even making the bench. It's like, I can't see them pulling on the shirt for major minutes again. But they've helped us get here, so you love them all the same and wish them the best. But how can you be anything but happy on a day like this after a performance like that?
It's gonna be a fun one to end up watching through as we go through the last little bit. As far as this game went, I mean, there are a lot of things to pull apart. But if you were to pull and say that was the highlight for me, pick a favorite moment and let's have it. And Brian, I do see you there.
For me, there are probably a few. I mean, Max's defensive positioning is just superb. When he doesn't have the ball, just keeping their strikers away from the goal, away from having a shot, was just superb. Some of Lee's passing, especially those first two goals were the result of Lee's passing. Barney with his first. I mean, how good was that? Yeah, that hopefully that releases
I said, give us one, and you rattled off three, and you only referenced one goal.
And that was the other thing, the defensive work and the positioning. We only had 35 percent possession by the end of the match, and we just allowed them to have the rubbish ball and kept them out when it mattered and went at them when it mattered. It was just a brilliant masterclass of coaching. So there's my moment. Parky, man of the match.
I'll pump a little bit more air into Clueworth's tires, because what I've been noticing is to me his positioning has always been good, but his intuition was sometimes off. The last 3-4 games, and today you saw that perfect example. Barney got beat over by Forster on the left-hand side and came around, and it was a snap of the finger, and Max just curls, turns around, gets low, tackles, knocks it out. Danger averted. It was gorgeous.
Yeah. And penalty averted too. I mean, he was milliseconds away from a penalty. That was just a brilliant tackle.
Yeah, he was up for the challenge, and it was in a situation where it was a dangerous guy who's as far as Crawley went, and I've been calling him Crew all day. As far as Crawley went, I was only really impressed by their subs more than anything else. Lolos had one kind of quasi run. Orsi was non-existent. 17 goals in the season. And did anybody call his name?
Well, I've only seen 0 seconds of them play this year, so I know nothing of that. But from what I read, they and what we saw last week with 4 goals against Mansfield, and they had 4 goals the week before. Mm-hmm. They can score, but apparently it's all from outside the box, and it was just a matter of not letting them have those shots from just outside the box. It was
a 25-yard wall. The whole game was a 25-yard wall.
Yeah. And we just didn't let them have those shots that they want to take, and we just stopped them scoring. Yeah, it was the players executed the plan perfectly. Didn't get sucked into the ball that they didn't need to chase, and just held that wall up. Not that we played a bus by any means, but it was just clever management, clever play, and 4-1 deserved result. 4-0's a better result, but 4-1 a deserved result, and it's looking, fingers crossed, that when I get there in October, it'll be for the League One matches.
That's amazing.
Up to town. So looking forward to it.
stay with me. I got Baz
Yeah, yep.
that's just logged in here, and I'm going to grab him and Brian at the same time while we take a little bit of a break. And for those of you who want to join and have something to say, there's a link down in the description below, wherever you're watching, whether that be on Baz's channel, Dazzle Publishing, whether that be the Red Horde, Local Pundit. I think Matt's got his up. It could be on Twitter. It could be on Facebook. Anywhere you are, find that link, send it over, and I'll pump it into the chat while I'm telling everybody about it so that you can have a chat. Who do we start with? I guess, Brian, no offense. I'm just going to go with Baz because he's been a partner here. Let's go over to Baz, who was at the game, I'm assuming. Tell us, how much fun was that?
Well, to be fair, I had my son's passing out parade tonight. So, yeah, with cadets. So I got home with about half an hour to spare and listening to Radio Wales, driving back home, short journey. Wayne Phillips, Wrexham legend, was saying that obviously Crawley started both first and second half quite lively. And he was convinced that if Wrexham got a third, although Crawley obviously looked threatening at times, that he was convinced the floodgates was open, and naturally that's what happened, I think, with Mullin and Andy Cannon.
Yeah, you'll have to watch that second goal that Mullin got, because there's discussion about whether that was goal of the season. Cannon from the last one that scored in March. There were some other people with Mullin's back heel cryptic saying no. I adored the absolute hell of it out of it. I would say that I liked it better. I know I'm probably in the minority. I was on the poll, but for me, that one probably takes over from Cannon's goal. But it's certainly worth a watch. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous.
As a shameless plug, Sean, just before we get into the deep dive, I've just put a video out yesterday with the top 100 goals. Well, Mullin's goals.
We'll have to go check
for the
it.
Club. So see,
do that.
Cryptic was on it.
Yeah, watch that. It's well worth a watch, and that's certainly the piss take goal of the year. I'll give you that. And do yourself a favor, 25 minutes, watch that Dazzle video. Superb.
Yeah. And for anybody that you're watching, make sure you bump the subscribe button. It could be Dazzle Publishing. And if you're watching on my channel or Dazzle's or the Local Pundit who's in the comments that was just there, go do the cycle around and give everybody some love. I'll tell you, it was a crazy day on the watch party that I was doing. I had 40 gifts, 40 subscriptions being gifted out, or memberships being gifted out, and lots of people just having fun. It was an entertaining day, and everybody was in a good mood. So I'm super thankful for everybody that was over there and watching that. And I'm assuming they had the same sort of fun over the Local Pundit. It's just nice having such a great Wrexham community and people putting out content so that everybody can enjoy. Brian, you watched that one, and I think you were with me on the watch along. Tell us, what did you take away from that, and tell us your favorite moment of that game.
Well, you were my eyes on that one. I didn't get to watch it today. I had too much stuff going on at work today that I couldn't stream it. But no, I appreciate. We had a great watch party. Close to 300 viewers.
Yeah, I think we got to 377. It was the most I ever had was, I think it was the Stockport game, up 477. But yeah, hitting lots of metrics and growing. I think we got 50 subscribers today. It was just an absolutely nutty day for the channel itself. I am trying, for those that are watching, I want to catch Chester FC. I think that the humor of having a North American fan of Wrexham surpass the actual football club, Chester, would be a great way to give it the old double deuce. I won't stick my fingers up on the camera, but aces or whatever you want to call it. So,
well, the problem is we're going to be in a different league from them next year. So,
well, we still are. We always are. They're not coming up, and we're not going down. So, we can always just rub it in. So there's the plug too for Baz's video, the 100 videos. So you guys didn't get to see the goals. When you go back to see the highlights, I kind of want to walk through each of them as we go through them, and I just got an echo from somebody. The Barnett goal in the 21st minute, I don't know where that hit him. That was a Lee sort of from the left-hand side, right next to the 18-yard box, and he loops one over to the far post, and Barnett didn't get the best contact in the world, and I don't know where exactly it hit him. If somebody has a vote and wants to say lower forehead, or did it get down to his shoulder, but it didn't come off of him with a lot of pace, and I thought, is it going to have enough pace to get across the line? It did, and it doesn't matter how much contact he got onto it. First one that goes across the line, they don't ask you how it went in, they ask you how many, and he's got one.
That deliberate. That was deliberate by him.
You think that was deliberate?
It was anything bar the hand, deliberate. When you first, if I was him, I'd be claiming shit. Yeah, I meant that, mate. It went exactly where I wanted it to because he got the goal. Who's to say otherwise? So because the cross was great, but he's only a little bloke. He had to get there, and he's not he hasn't got the body to be able to hold his position. So that was just superb positioning by him, and superb again.
All credit for the positioning for sure. Yeah, go. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, and I did. That's my fault.
So how about this, right? Appreciating that Barrow's match against Bradford's been postponed today. Crew now, with their results, they beat Morecambe 1-0 this evening. They officially now, unless we absolutely get pumped every game and they score 5 goals every game, in the remaining 3 games we both got, there is not a chance now that Crew can surpass us realistically, because the most they can achieve 79 points, which is what Wrexham have now got, and the goal difference they've got +10, we've got +27. So for me, Crew are out the running. However, on the downside, what I would say is that Barrow now, with their game postponed against Bradford today, they've still got 5 games to play, which means the maximum points they can get is 82. So realistically and mathematically, we still need a win and a draw, depending on results.
I think
and then
we win Saturday, we're golden.
We're golden.
Because Mansfield still has to play Milton and Barrow.
Keynes and Barrow. Yeah.
So there's going to be points lost between those 3 teams. So as long as we can hold our home form, because God knows our home form's a lot better than our away form, we should be going into the last 2 games pretty much locked in.
Well, Mansfield at home today have only beaten Forest Green 1-0. So appreciating Mansfield, maybe we get the pick up the vibes that they may be on. I wouldn't say a free fall, but I think that loss against Wrexham the other week's really, really dented their confidence. Plus, they've obviously suffered quite a few significant injuries. I think their defence was already well hampered, so maybe that's playing an impact. But just as we're getting players back from injury, so I'm hoping the fates of the god are there, and we're going to have everyone back from injury, and we're going to smash it out the park. I'm feeling really confident after tonight. I would like to say a big shout out as well to Travis Herb. Thanks for watching the video.
There's those 5 Barrow matches. Those 5 Barrow matches have to be played within a very short period of time, though, don't they?
They're Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, all the way through. And if they have another one that's postponed, because they can't go after the last Saturday of the league, they're going to have to fit that game in. I'm assuming it'll go on a Thursday.
They'll do like a Tuesday,
Thursday, Saturday.
Monday.
So I mean, they're going to be running on. Sunday's tough too, because then it's Saturday, Sunday, right? But in any event, whether it's a Sunday or it's a Thursday, it's just a mess if they end up having another postponement. So I guess, are we praying for rain and Barrow, make it as tough as possible? It doesn't matter. We're well in control. We're well in control.
We win Saturday.
So Kim's put a comment that Mansfield dominated the game against Forest Green Rovers. So I assume you must have been watching the game, Kim, or were you just sort of in and out across a couple of different games?
Kim, come and join us and tell us, because I'm still waiting for Kim to, even audio only. We'll take the chat. Kim always with the most brilliant comments, and fully knowledgeable. And so being able to get her insight, I'm all for getting that sort of stuff. Stuart, have a good one. Thanks for logging in and doing your thing. It was wherever you're watching, but we appreciate it. So the second goal, the one that, and I didn't write down enough notes here. I know it was the cannon cross that went to Mullen, and it's probably arguably the easiest goal that he scored out of the 100. That was 101st at that point in time, because he had a 3-foot little chip shot that he just had to kind of stick his boot out, perfectly served up to him from cannon in the corner. But that one came downhill in a hurry, and everybody led the ball forward. It was a mob of red just sweeping down the pitch, and so that was a gorgeous one, well worth the highlight. I won't even spoil it with the play-by-play, because that was just beautiful. Go ahead.
Oh, I will. O'Connor. Boyle was good, but O'Connor bringing the ball out is next level, and it was him to Lee, and Lee's great pass, cannon, bang, goal. I mean, as I say, Mullen just tapped it in. He didn't do anything. It was O'Connor and Lee up the field who did the work on that. And that was just, great team goal.
Let's talk about, obviously O'Connor got in, Boyle went out. Boyle's been solid, exceptionally impressive back there. When we are dealing with a team like Crawley, I've done Crew all night. When we do a team like Crawley, we know that they're gonna set up at the 25-yard box. They're gonna be searching for ball on the floor to get through, and O'Connor's preferred there than Boyle is. And Parkey obviously thought the same thing and went for it. Are we as fans going to be able to adjust if we end up with a team that does a lot of crosses? If Boyle ends up getting into that left part of our back line, or are we going to be upset and frustrated because of what TOC brings? Just curious, trying to look at a negative because everything is so rosy. Was that the right selection, or will it be down the road if Boyle slides in for O'Connor?
I'm not sure on that point, but I think for me the strategic sort of tactical substitutions I'd suggest when we've gone 3-0 up, and then you've got the Mullin, Barnett coming off. I think they're going to be key players in the running, and the other one obviously Ollie Palmer came on to give Stephen Fletcher a few extra minutes. But appreciating, I think that was the first substitution around 74, 75 minutes.
74, I got it.
Jordan Davis come on as well. He replaced
Lee. Cannon.
Yeah.
Cannon, yeah.
Again,
Cannon.
76 minutes.
When I saw Jordan Davis on the touchline, I thought that maybe it'd be Elliot Lee again, but no, I think it makes sense. He had a bit of a break at the last game against Colchester, so I think maybe just getting a bit of rest, bringing off, protecting Cannon. He has been amazing the last sort of 10 games. He's been key to the results we have gotten, points.
He's done what Elliot Lee did in the first part of the season.
That goal go ahead.
And so for that, hence why I think he's now surpassed Elliott and man of the player of the year calculations.
Yeah. I think that competition is wide open, which is a credit to the depth. I think there's 5-6 guys you can make a legitimate argument for on player of the season, and that'd be a fun debate to have out with everybody. Maybe before it happens, everybody picks a player and has an argument, and we put it online and try to sell our guy, because there's some real guys there. That goal from Lee, I think, was important because Parkey doesn't like his subs, and I was sort of, even at 2-0, it was like, okay, let's start to get Marion out there, let's start to get Jordan out there, all that sort of stuff. That goal by Lee in the 76th minute, I think, encouraged him to pick up the pace with making sure some guys got out there and some people got a break. So that was helpful. Talking about the Lee goal, the Cannon goal, Lee nicks it in the middle of the field, picks his pocket, and he ends up having a bullet of a shot, right footer.
It was a good shot.
Adai has to scream over to the left, and Adai, credit to him, able to make the first stop, and it just rolls right for Cannon. And Adai was right there. Not an easy goal to score, right? You've got a big body who's still right in front of you, who's just getting to his feet, but managed to find that far corner. What did you guys see in that build-up? What did you like? What were your thoughts?
To be fair, I only looked down for a second. I was making some notes, and I looked up, and Elliot Lee's pounded his way right into the box and having a shot. It was a good shot, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a nice run by Lee with a powerful shot. Again, hit straight at the keeper, but it just forced that error from the keeper, didn't it? And Cannon was just there. Great little dink, because he didn't have much to shoot at. It was a fair angle, and the keeper was in his line of sight. So he's done well to score it. So another good team goal too. It's not the first effort that gets the goal; it's the second. So they did well.
It's not the first mouse that gets the cheese; it's the second one.
I want to comment on the comment down there below. Ruby Slippers, you excited for your first summer transfer window? No, you're not. The transfer windows suck. They suck because all you're going to hear is speculation from a whole lot of people, including myself, who have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Assuming that they're football pundits, except for the local pundit, he's legit, but that don't know, and hearing rumors and getting excited about the rumor, and then frustrated when they sign elsewhere and having no idea what's going on. It is so frustrating, the summer window. So enjoy it if you can. I don't like it at all.
It's the worst part of the summer for me, because there's people in the know, and you'll see the hashtag ITK on Twitter all over the place, Facebook, Red Passion, wherever. Stay away from Red Passion if you want to know any transfer rumours, because it'll be not a good place to be. It's ferocious. And again, I love the fact that the secrecy and the cloak and daggery around who we're actually after, and people speculate. I think Paul Mullin transferred, by the way, only came about because a few people had seen a few YouTube videos and thought, oh, he'd be a good player to sign. He wants to come up north, and then next thing you know, everybody knew it was happening and everyone knew it was on. But realistically, I think Parky runs a pretty tight ship. There's obviously a few leaks in the camp. We've seen screenshots of the moon about 11 o'clock transfer deadline day, late at night. Everyone keen to see who we're going to sign last minute, and then massive faux pas. I'm looking forward to seeing the coverage on that one in the documentary. That's for sure.
It just proves, to Ruby's second comment there about it being awesome, the tension, the drama, and your comments, it just proves who's a masochist and who isn't, because it's really about just self-loathing and pain. That's what the window is for me. But there's going to be a lot of moves. It's going to be interesting to see if we do get promoted, because there's going to have to be some changes likely afoot, and we'll see what they look like. I'm going to bring in Josh is with us as my backup is down, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of math here, and I've got Cryptic back, so I'm going to add him. Did you want to stay in?
Yeah. Sorry, that was my okay. Hit the wrong button. That went boom.
That's all good. I'll keep you in here, and I'm going to grab Josh to get the summary and you can tell us all about how his watch along went and his overview. How are you, sir?
Out of interest, Josh, as well, I'd be interested to know if you've had any live comms from in the field off Sheldon.
I apologize, just looking down, because he has hey, by the way, hello everybody. He has full access to the local pundit, so he might be going live. He's going with Stace, the player. So I was like, okay. So I was just trying to keep an eye on that. So
excellent. So if you're on YouTube and you got multiple screens, there's your idea to go to the local pundit and keep an eye on what could be loaded up, because we could get a little special that goes on there. Or if he's got the mic, maybe tell him to click the restream link and he can add it here.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out how to do.
Because then it goes to you too. Yeah.
Yeah. He can bring on here. So yeah, how's everyone doing today? What's going on? That was great.
How was that? Yeah, I'm doing okay. How are you doing? Was that acceptable and a reasonable outcome from your perspective?
I felt like I felt like a true fan today. I was I was watching the game. I actually felt like a true fan. I was like, I don't know who scored. I don't know who didn't score. I'm kidding, but it was such a great. I was so happy to see that today. I figured, and I put it out there. I was like, I felt like the last game was the hump game, on the Hasselhoff turf, and then going back at home and maybe we can go release the hounds and go and have a victory. I feel bad for AO. Sheldon was at the match. He's he thinks he maybe hurt himself. I don't know. That's why he wasn't kicking. But I wish we had a 4-1 wins, a fantastic victory. I'm so excited, so excited.
Do you think he could have done better with the initial contacts? He went down low to his right to get the obviously the shot to come across the goal, and it was probably going out anyway. But he obviously nudged it out. The resulting corner then led to Yolos or whatever his name was, getting the consolation goal for Crawley.
Sheldon mentioned that he thinks that he might have hurt himself. That's what he said.
Matt Coward will do a job.
Wait, let's go to this comment. Is this why Kim has the reason why?
Oh, he might be. Yeah, I hope he is. Sheldon got. But I mean, he said he thinks, because he wasn't kicking the ball, he thinks he might have hurt himself. He was literally right behind him at the game. So I don't know. We'll see.
Awesome.
But we'll see. I'm buzzing.
Allegedly in the fact that his shirt's off.
Yeah, I'm not in the know. I'm not in the know at all. He's not in the know. He's like, could be a rumor, could not be. You never know. But one game watch.
ITK.
Out. No, fun stuff. Awesome. By the way, Sean, I heard you were talking about your channel going off. That's awesome, man. That's really good. I think
it was a nutty day. Everybody was in a good mood. I think there was 40 gifted memberships total. We went 50 subscribers, a whole lot of super likes. It was a mad day. I'm curious to see at night what turns over. We hit a milestone a couple of days ago, 20,000 hours of viewing time on the Red Horde in 9 months. So I'm appreciative that people seem to be okay with what I'm doing. I just wish I had more time to do things, but more exciting stuff to come. So going back to this one, we've gone through the goals. I keep getting dings telling me somebody's joining the group to chat with us, and then they're leaving. So I don't know if somebody's pranking me or what's going on.
They're outside of the ground, right? Sorry, probably outside of the ground. Congrats.
The only other goal that we didn't talk about, I mean, I'm not going to mention their goal, unfortunate, whatever, but we didn't talk about the Mullen one with the back pass in the 82nd minute. Just hard work and a bad pass by the one guy on their team, that Adeyemo, who came in. I actually thought that he was doing okay down that right hand side. If anybody was going to threaten, it was him. And he had the bad back pass. Mullen going over there and taking it and potting one in pretty much straightforward. I don't think there was any magic in it. It was just a freebie, and you'll sort of take those, won't you?
Full effort goal there, not giving
up. Yes, he did put the pressure on.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yeah, a goal from work rather than from skill and class. But that finish was class, but the goal was pure work, and that's what Mullen's known for. His running today was just superb. He just put in so much effort, and in defence, again without the ball, they just covered so much area. Even Palmer, they just ran their socks off today.
The whole team, like you had there was that one series where you had Barnett take one off of the head, and then you had Cannon right after him jump into a block. You had everybody when they were up pressing, they were there threatening. We were closing gaps all over the place in good possession. It was damn spectacular. Whose photo is that?
Somebody on Twitter, I've just seen it. Somebody called Claire, CJ Davis Claire. So yeah, she just put that. Things we love to see on Twitter.
Gorgeous.
How good's that?
Gorgeous. C.H. Davis. I missed the Twitter. We'll find it.
At CJ Davis Clay.
That's CH Davis Clay. So look that one up and pull it. That looked gorgeous. Yeah, and lots of people who are celebrating getting the gifted subscription stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is going to be the shortest after 90 because we're just all going to sit here and clap our hands and celebrate, and that was about as good as it could have got. You were nervy going in, recognizing that if it was a loss, we were in danger. No, not the end of the world, but we put ourselves into danger territory, and a win secures it. We did the job, right?
I think what you could do is look forward and think, okay, McFadden on the bench this week. Does that mean Hayden, Jones, Tunnicliffe so far off that they're not even being considered for the last 3 matches? Because who do you bring in onto that bench for Forest Green? Because now with 3 left and Forest Green win that and that's it. Does he bring Dalby back and have 3 forwards on the bench and drop McFadden? Are we replacing Howard? Howard into goal, and then we got to bring Leighton. Do we? No, McNicholas.
You wait one more. You don't because what happens if it goes south? Right, I think you wait until you get the clinch, and then you worry about it for the last 2, and you have your celebratory tour with whoever you want to play out there. And I guess there might be some people that's my take, but I can also see the opposite. Is there anybody who wants to argue and says, well, as long as we're still in the opportunity to chase down the title, you take your run at the title, right? Or is it somewhere in the middle? I hear you cryptic, but I don't.
I was more wondering about how badly injured some of those players must be if they're not getting on the bench ahead of McFadden. And therefore we're not seeing them. So I'm worried about actually our lack of depth at the moment. Our depth is looking a little thin with these last 3 matches left. So
you're talking wing backs, right? And if you're talking wing backs, Mendy's got the hammy. 40s, I don't think is expected back this year. So who else do you put?
Jones. Jones probably not expected back either. James Jones. Hayden. He may not play again this year. Young maybe not injured, but he may not play again this year. So I'm just thinking about that depth is looking a little thin for again maybe the back, because McFadden's the plug-in anywhere player. Is there not, though, the specialists that we have for maybe wing back and midfield to sit there as well? Anyway.
I just want to go ahead, Josh. Go ahead. I'll come back to this. Go ahead.
We're only light on the left side. Sorry, I apologize. It's a bit of a. I think we're only light on the left side because of Mendy. The right side, I think we're covered. I also think at the same time, this is going to be the lineup for the rest of the season, unless something happens. I mean, that's what I think. But Gio and Stash, I think coming back into the lineup has totally changed things around. Yeah. The class and the two of them has just opened things up, and I think that's what when it went pear shaped in the middle of the season, in my opinion, of why it went down. But the only thing I think we're light on is that left wing back. So I could totally see that what you're saying.
Yeah. And again, you got TOC will play there, and you've got Will Boyle that could drop into that central defensive position. How good was Cleworth's lunge at that ball, putting out for a corner? But the maturity, the timing, it was impeccable. It was a thing of beauty. And I tell you what, that player, I was talking recently down in the turf in Wrexham to a guy who's played professional football at a decent level. He's involved with championship level coaching and also involved in the Welsh development level. And he's adamant that without a doubt, Max Cleworth is going to be a 1 million plus signing now. Wrexham or transfer at some stage for Wrexham, because there will inevitably come a point where hopefully we recruit a replacement capable of dealing at a higher level. But then for Max Cleworth, without a shadow of a doubt, his age, was he 22? And I think he can definitely, the way he's matured, his consistency, the way he talks, he's destined for championship plus, without a stretch of the imagination. And I think
keep your hands off him. He's destined to be a Wrexham captain. No. He's destined to be a Wrexham captain, and we don't need the money. Sign him up. We don't need the money. He's a local lad now. He loves playing for the club. He's part of the growth from being a 17-year-old scrawny little kid in the National League. You keep him, and he'll be a captain in a couple of years. So keep your bloody hands off him. Championship.
Pay for the cop.
Okay. Well, someone's got to pay for the cop, but $2 million, piss off, mate. No. Keep your money in your pocket.
Did you see the attaboy that he got from O'Connell after one of the challenges there?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that's why you do well.
And that's why you play there too. You're playing for your mates, and you could walk to a championship club for 37 million and be in the shittest dressing room in town, and you're on 37 mil, and you're thinking this isn't fun. But he's playing with his mates, and he's winning, and he's happy. Sign him up.
You can't. That smile is ear to ear. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good problem to have, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to take a whole bunch of money and deal with some benefits from it, or are we going to have a kid who can be here for an extended period and really prove himself and do his thing? It's a wonderful problem to have.
Also, he showed up Harry Maguire's brother.
Yeah.
Who's Harry Maguire's brother? Is that Forrester?
No, Maguire's brother was playing on the other side.
Oh, was he? I missed all.
And Harry Maguire was there.
Oh,
so for somebody who doesn't give much shit about other teams apart from Wrexham, I heard that too. Who the hell's Harry Maguire? Sorry for my ignorance. Who's he play for?
It's a movie.
United, England. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Daniel, I am in Roanoke.
Harry Maguire. Yeah, he's not a popular central defender.
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, Max is 22 in August, so he's got such a he's not going to peak for another 5 years. You know what I mean?
And old enough to drink.
Yeah, that trip to Vegas will finally be a good one.
In the States, right?
I do want to take a pause. There were some people we talked about the idea of competing for the championship, and just to put it into perspective of where that is for us if we're trying to do that. Our maximum points that we can end up obtaining is now sitting at 88. That's a 5-point difference with Stockport just to tie them. So you're going to need to get at like 2 losses out of Stockport and for us to win out. And that's 2 losses. They've got 4 left. They've got Morecambe, Notts, Accrington, and then us. Is it foreseeable that they could lose one of those while we take out Forest Green and Crewe so that the last game means something? Sure. We can't tie them. They've got a goal difference at 41. It's probably higher today, 42 now. So they've been averaging 2 points per game. They're projected to get to 90. We would have to win out the rest of our games, not entirely out of the question. But more importantly, with who they've got left, they've got Morecambe at home, and Morecambe's just playing for a playoff spot and trying to get in. Notts County, who I think today were they eliminated from everything, and then they've got Accrington, who's eliminated from everything and playing dead rubbers. So they've kind of got a free path to go forward, which is why I don't, unless Stockport completely falls off a cliff, I've put a fork in it.
Championship, isn't it?
Yeah. Same.
But there are still people, and all the more power to it, who say, let's go for it and see what they get.
Vicente,
Yeah, we just need to take care of business.
Go for it.
When I switched on around 60 minutes.
All of it.
Go on.
I'll just go let's go for it. Really, just means winning it Crew, doesn't it? Like we got to win at Forest. We got to win at home this week to get promotion. We win at Crew, okay, and then it's up to the last match. And if it comes down to it, it comes down to it. But forget about it. It doesn't matter. And I'm sure that Park is going to be thinking that too. Don't even look at Stockport. Last match will happen. If it means something, it means something. If it doesn't, we win this weekend. That's it. That's all that matters. And we get promoted. The rest will happen. It's not in our hands, and we can't affect it in any way. So there's 0 point looking at it.
That would be fun, though. The comment there from Matt thrown out there, it would be a piss if Knots helps us out, takes out Stockport and lines it up in the last game to give us a shot at the championship. Then what we send over a case of American gin and Four Walls whiskey and Stoke coffee and say thanks very much for the.
Is the loan period still open? Can we loan them a few players for that match? Or is that done and dusted now?
But that would be fun. Yeah. It's.
Hey, are we up for getting John in here? Just put.
I'm going to need to get ready for work. So, guys, thank you. Been a great space. Been a great day. Been a great night. And going to be a good week up the hopefully promotion-winning town come this weekend. So, guys, I'll catch up with the rest of this when I get back from work. So, thanks heaps.
Great to hear off you again. Take care, brother.
Thanks, guys.
I think that's the first time I've seen
the link because my other link blew.
Sorry.
No, Josh, take over for me just for 5 minutes here because my backup went down, which I was using to filter everything. So I'm kind of having multitask here. So go ahead.
Okay, I got you. So I think that's the first time I've seen Cryptic. I've seen Cryptic in person. I've always heard his voice. He's got a great voice, by the way, like one of those voices. Yeah, like a lot going on with the championships up here. Or John is still needs Stockport to draw in addition to the loss at Snots. Snots. It'll come down to the last match of the season, Wrexham style. I mean. Come on, that's a dream. That's an absolute dream. What do you guys think on that?
So it was so disappointing though because I turned the TV. Well, when I got home, it was about 60 minutes in, and it was 1-1, and then no sooner had I gone out to get changed, get into my football gear, settle down for the last half hour, and Paddy Madden pops up, and his shiny. I don't know if he scored with his shiny head or if there's a bit more class to it. But again, doesn't matter how you score them, does it when you're winning? But just a bit of a shame really. I thought Colchester, maybe a little bit deflated, but the shocking thing looking at the stats, both Colchester and Stockport only had 3 shots on target, with Colchester having 8 shots and 10 for Stockport. So doesn't sound like the most fill in the games. 54% Stockport, but again, I'm quite settled as long as we get promotion. I've been stuck in the National League for 15 years, back-to-back promotion. I can handle that. I just the dream though would without a doubt get down to that final day where if we win, we go up champions. That's going to be one hell of an atmosphere. Wayne's obviously advertised for anyone who's watching local or coming over to the game for Stockport. that he's going to put tickets on sale on Monday. I think £4, just to give him a shout out. But you got to get them from the Butty van. So if you're travelling over for the Stockport game, you might want to get friendly with somebody a bit more local that could get you a wristband, or tap into Welshie 1000, I think it is, on Twitter. See if he'll save you one. But I think it's about £4 a ticket. He's got about 400, and some of the money's going to charity as well. So
awesome.
That's great.
That's going to be one hell of an atmosphere either way.
I don't know if you guys are in the Twitter in the Discord, and I don't want to share it just because it involves Stacey's kid. But Stacia sent us a photo in the Discord, and I know some of you guys are in there, of Caleb with Harry Maguire. So
awesome.
Yeah,
that's cute. That'll be good for Caleb. So good stuff for Stace to get that one snuck in there. Tobias. No, sorry, I just wanted to chat about this one really quick. Tobias, I'm not going to sing on this one because nobody else needs to be penalized for that. If you go to the Red Horde, you can catch the singing. I'll leave that one over on itself.
Come on, Sean. You're going to leave those guys hanging? That has to be the new chant that goes around K. Ross. I mean, that's
somebody's just what, and now I got to think of what I did. So it was
lion
in the K. Ross, the mighty K. Ross, the lion prowls tonight. In the race course, the mighty race course, the Lion King scores tonight. Hey, hey. Let that one roll. Let that thing go. Somebody needs to do that because you can.
How many super thanks did you get for that one then, Sean?
I think I got $1.99.
Yeah. Boom. Done.
Mic drop.
Yeah. There you go.
Maybe not with as much singing, but I could see a whole bunch of Welshmen screaming that out when Andy's out there. I don't know. It'd be fun to get something out there.
I don't know about you guys.
He does. Oh. Dun, dun, dun.
He doesn't sing like a Welshman. No, you're right there. He's got a bit of practice, though. I'm not going to have a go at it.
Sings like a Canadian,
I'll destroy it now. But
I
was up way too late last night.
Hold on. Time out. Sorry, Baz. That's the most negative thing that John's ever said. And I.
199.
And John's, yeah.
John's always positive story. I didn't mean to walk over you, Baz. Go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is, on a token, while we've got a few of the normal hosts around the table, I'm really, really starting to enjoy this. This is one hell of a run in, and it's great. Week to week, you just don't know which way it's going to go. We're up, we're down. Teams knocking results off other teams. And the work that goes into making these chats and some of the match day vlogs, or the watch parties. We do it because we enjoy it, but a lot of effort, time, money goes into it. So a shameless plug. Just if you're on one of the channels, you've got the possibility of doing super thanks, memberships, and that subscribe button, because as I say, last time I looked a couple of months back, 70% people watching the videos don't hit the subscribe button. It gives you the notifications pop up when the next one comes up, and we're going to have some great content going on between the group. And I appreciate we haven't got Welsh Beast Sports on today. Two Beards, he's a bit of a late night now. The clocks have gone forward in the UK. He did gain an hour for a week or two, and obviously Matt, Racecourse Ramble. I don't think I missed anyone. Paul as well. The Up the Town show. He joined on Saturday in my absence. It's great to have him on board. Got some great ideas we've been discussing that we can do with the group, and he'll certainly be planning to join in the future as well from Kentucky. So if you haven't already subscribed to the Up the Town show, check it out.
Do that.
Stacey's trying to join. She said.
Stacey's trying to join, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll keep an eye out on and I do want to. The only other thing that's sort of coming and developing and all that sort of stuff, and may have a role in it, and we're ironing out the kinks. And I'm going to challenge myself. The Igwilwal Gok Festival that's happening. Gok, I can't get the Gok sound right, but it's the Red Wall Festival that's happening in Wrexham, May 31st to June 2nd, and they have a whole bunch of stuff that's going on, all football related. Some of it'll be about artistry and poets. Some of it'll be about disability access to football. Some of it'll be about coaching and that sort of stuff. Writings regarding things. We may be discussing it, live streaming from North America over there to meet people that attend that festival. So if you're in town in May 31st to June 2nd, check that out and check out the Red Wall Festival.
Holiday weekend here in the States.
Yeah, I've got dance recital, so it might have to be an early morning thing. But anyway, there's lots of stuff going on. If you haven't had a chance to join the link, I sent it out there. Feel free to come and join us. I've got 5 people, but I think the other one is me. Oh, we've got Erwin. I'm going to add Erwin here, and we'll get a chat. Erwin, how are ya?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you. And so what I do when I get new people in here is feel free to let us know your Wrexham AFC history and how you came to meet the club, and then tell us your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, sure. I started watching probably like a year ago or so, like actively watching the games. I started hearing about the club when the takeover took place. I was following some people on social media who really followed it closely, so I was kind of vicariously looking through them to see what was happening. But then by the end of last season, of course, things got very excited. So I started watching some games, and then this season I've been pretty much watching every game. Joining in some of those fan channels. Josh, I've been on your channel in the chat mostly, on the Discord, and also here on the Red Horde. It's really fun to watch. Also great to hear you guys talk about it, of course. I'm from the Netherlands, by the way. Mm-hmm. So,
which part in the Netherlands?
I'm from the southern part, so close to the Belgian border. City called Breda. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but
down towards Aachen or something like that, yeah.
More west. So Aachen is like the German border. I'm more west, really, close to Belgium. Much. But yeah, this match was great performance. Great to see the team show up. I will say by the end of the game, everyone did look a bit tired, but they did fight very hard. I thought. Overall, I was very happy. Very excited to see Barney get his goal. Cannon, of course. Yeah, it looked great. So very excited to see what happened.
Awesome. Did you have a highlight at all? And I see Stacy's joined, so I'm just going to add her here momentarily. I'm looking at a lamppost, so I don't know if she's... Oh, there she is.
Highlight so go ahead, Josh. Hard to say. Cannon, I would say his goal for me was fantastic to see. For him to get that goal with all the work that he's put in the last few games, especially.
And that's a byproduct of hard work too, right? Is because Lee had that crack, but Cannon didn't rest up. He still continued chasing that ball and was there for the effort. I think that was a sign of the whole team. But I'm with you, the Lion King doing his thing. I don't want to cut you off, so stay on there. I just want to make sure we grab Stacy because I don't know how our internet connection is, and I don't want to lose out on the chance.
Sorry, I don't know if you've seen the comments there. It said from MDR. I'm going to try my best Dutch here, or Flemish, but groetjes uit Alkmaar.
Yeah.
Sure.
Groetjes terug.
There she is.
And I'm going to be clear before I introduce Stacy. I wasn't calling you a lamppost. I was saying all I saw was a lamppost. Stacey, it's a pleasure to see you as always. You look gorgeous. How was that day for you?
Really, really good. I've just introduced Sheldon to a lot of the players, so awesome. He's had fun. He just had a long chat with Mendy, McLean, Fletcher, all of them really. So he's buzzing. I think he's coming on in a minute. I've just left him.
I hope he doesn't come on. He does. He sees us all the time. He should be chatting as long as people will chat with him.
Yeah. I introduced him to Humphrey as well, so I think he was buzzing with that as well. Actually, Caleb did. There's Caleb.
Hey, Caleb. That's awesome. He's like, all right, get out of there. Yeah. Now, Sheldon messaged me. He said he said he talked to Humphrey. So that's pretty awesome. That's great.
That's down to Caleb. Caleb said, Humphrey, this is my friend Sheldon. Now shake hands. So funny.
By the way, Sheldon got stopped on the road today when he was out and was like, hey, I know you. You're Sheldon. So good on Sheldon today. Actually stopped by someone on the street.
Awesome. Josh, you've been asked, what are you drinking?
Oh, it's Liquid Death. It's water.
There you go.
Well, yeah. Future sponsor, water, hydrate, everyone. There you go.
And there's the message down below. Check out the Local Pundit pregame show. Sheldon is a legend, and he is indeed. Much love to everybody who's doing their thing. And I love the fact there's so much content, and people can choose what they want to do and find whatever pathway they find to the club at the end of the day. Caleb, how are you, bud?
I'm fine.
Awesome. I love it. It's nice to see you.
I was asked her. So you sent the picture in the Discord of him with Harry Maguire. How was that? How'd you get that happen? Make that happen?
McFadgen, I call him McFadge. McFadgen introduced him to Harry Maguire. He said, "Come here, mate." I can't do his accent. That's the kind of how he says his accent. This is little Caleb, and this is Harry Maguire. And Caleb's like, "Yeah, I know who Harry is."
See, that's it. Wasn't Caleb meeting Harry Maguire. It was Harry Maguire meeting Caleb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get it right. Yeah. That's awesome.
I got a bit nervous, to be honest. I went, "Cheers, Harry," and then I walked off like I knew him. Like, "Cheers, Harry."
Give him an attaboy as well on your way out. Yeah.
So, Stacey, I'm curious because you were there and you're our eyes on for everybody else that wasn't. We all were watching on streams, and Baz had a commitment that he couldn't end up going to. Anything happened in the stands or in the crowd or something that was atmosphere type or that you saw that we maybe not got on the TV that was really exciting other than the post match stuff that you had meeting the players?
I would say that's the loudest I've ever heard the ground this season. It was so loud, including myself. I got shouted at for swearing a bit too loud. It was very exciting. Just the whole atmosphere was different than usual. It was just amazing. Caleb is absolutely buzzing. He hasn't shut up. So, yeah, it was amazing.
It did sound good. The players
just looked so relaxed on the pitch as well. And I was talking to Liam Hall, which is our young goalkeeper, for a while after the game then. And he said, the lads were saying to me that we're just going to take each game as it comes now. Forget about what's coming up and see how we get on. And I was like, well, a fucking show tonight. It's working. Carry on with that mindset. So it just shows they've switched their mindset a little bit and taking each game as it comes rather than worrying about, are we going to do it? Or we've got this team next to play. So, yeah.
There's a question for you, Stacey. If you can't read your screen, so sorry, I'll just get this question out for Ruth or from Ruth to Stacey. Have you talked to Mendy and do we know how he's doing health wise?
Yeah, I've just been with him. He's on crutches. He's he's in a lot of pain, to be fair. I'm not going to give much away, but yeah, he's
darn.
Yeah, he won't be playing for the rest of the season. I know there's only 5 games left, but still, yeah, he's on crutches. He's not great, but yeah.
And you've added 3 games left. Forest Green, Crew, Stockport. That's our run-in. We're down to the nitty-gritty here. Go ahead. I think that was Baz yelling out for Matt.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Mark Lister's put a comment that Wrexham now, if you were to go to the bookies tomorrow and put 25 quid on Wrexham to get promoted, you'd win 1 quid back. So it's looking favourable. And for those who've just joined that maybe missed earlier, we were looking at some stats. Crew realistically now are going to be out the running to overtake us. Stockport, by the way, I don't know if this came up earlier maybe, but Stockport now, I believe, are guaranteed promotion because they've secured 83 points after their win 2-1 away at Colchester today. They were drawing around 60 minutes until Paddy Madden scored on 61. So realistically now, the most that MK Dons can score is 83 points. But
they can make up that 30 goals.
Far inferior goal difference. They've got 16 goal difference against Stockport's 42. So Stockport are up now. So eases a bit of pressure on them. Obviously, they'll be wanting to win the next game because they'll be wanting to open the gap up and get the championship without a doubt. But that mindset, whereas I think quite a few fans, and certainly from what I'd seen on social media and heard, the first half at Colchester for Wrexham, and I think Josh touched on this point earlier, is that I was certainly nervous. Although 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, I thought that was a dead cert win. Going into the game, I was quite nervous because knowing what our away form's been like, I just felt that it could be one of them games. When I saw the state of the pitch, it was absolutely shocking. And I heard we were dog shit, for want of a better term, the first half on Saturday. And then no fist pumps from Mullin. Fans singing we never win away, which has really annoyed him. Struck up a massive furore on Sunday afternoon on Twitter, Facebook, all the other social media outlets. Probably taken out of context following his post-match interview. But I think, and the other thing as well, let's not forget Danny Cowley, the Colchester manager, reporting that in his post-match speech, the Wrexham players having a proper go at each other at halftime going into the tunnel. Now, if that's not passion, wearing your heart on your sleeve, playing for the badge, these players, I think, from what I saw in that 30 minutes at the end, they were really fired up for it. So my question, Stace, was, to get back on point, I heard Crawley started the game quite lively. Before the first 2 goals went in, were you confident? Because you mentioned that the players were playing comfortably, free flow football, playing with confidence. What was the first maybe 15, 20 minutes like, Stace, in the ground?
I wasn't worried at all.
No.
We'd done our homework. You can see we were playing quite high up. I was talking to Sheldon and a few others in the pub before. Don't do that, then we're screwed. We did that just right. Oh my God! What the hell was that?
You get high beamed?
That just turned on. Sorry, blinded me. Fucking hell. Wasn't worried. I was comfortably sat in my seat, knowing we were going to win it. To be honest, and that's not being arrogant. You could just see the way we were playing. They felt relaxed. The players, they looked very, very relaxed on the field. Which made me relaxed.
That's a callback to the lamppost.
And Brian's just signing out here. So, Brian, back to work for you. Hey, thanks so much for joining in. Much appreciation, much love. We've got, oh, man, that lamppost comment's going to get us. Sheldon's LinkedIn. Got to get him to say his 2 cents here while he's there walking in the darkness. Sheldon, how was that?
Great to see you, Brian.
I really enjoyed that. It was a great match.
I assume so. I was worried it might not get off with all the rain that was coming down in the morning and Matt saying it's got to stop. Were you worried about it?
It was really bad.
I was for a while. Yeah, I must admit I was for a while. But when it stopped straight immediately. And the sun started to come out. It started to brighten. I was like, okay, we have enough hours here for the pitch to be back in order. And it was looking lovely.
So
that underground heating is definitely going to pay off in the summer, isn't it?
Sheldon, how many games have you been to at the racecourse?
This is the first at the racecourse.
Okay, and so if these are the results we can expect with you in attendance, is the message that we need to have a GoFundMe to basically make sure that you're at every game?
Yeah, we can do that.
The players, when I introduced them to some of the players, that they said, "Oh, is this the first match you've been to?" And he said, "No, I went to the Stockport one," and every single one of their faces went, "Ooh, that's not a good."
So
Disinvite.
Yeah. Don't go to away games, Sheldon.
No away
just
games.
home ones,
only
yeah.
the racecourse, yeah.
Luckily, we got more home than away. I just wanted to pick up on a quick point there that Marie had put that Mullins is now the 3rd top scorer in the league. When I was looking earlier, I think he's actually the 4th or joint 4th. So you got Langstaff on 25, Smith on 23 for Salford, Evans 20 for Newport, Keeler Dunn 19, and Mullin 19. But the minutes per goal. Joint 4th on that as well, with 142 minutes per goal. He's played 19 games, scored 34, and assists 5. No, sorry, that can't be right. 34 goals. No, he's scored 19 and he's played 34. I got that wrong around.
Got it
PNG,
backwards.
yeah.
Erwin,
yeah. 5 assists.
While you're on here, have you been to a Wrexham match? Do you have designs to go over? Any
I
plans?
would love to go, yeah. I haven't been yet. Maybe next year. This year, probably not, but maybe next year.
Yeah, it's because of my house situation. I'm waiting for next year, so we'll see how that all pans out.
I'm interested.
I don't want any pictures, Sheldon.
I'm interested, Erwin, because obviously the Dutch, total football for me back in the day. Had some big teams, and the Dutch team. Many British fans have always thought that sometimes the the Netherlands have been unfortunate, where they've had some real big stars, individual players that sometimes just hasn't worked out, and seen them missing out on some big tournament glory. Who's your Dutch team that you follow out of interest? Someone like Eindhoven?
My main team is Ajax, but they're
Ajax,
not really performing this season with all this stuff going on there. And my local team, NAC Breda, they're called. They play in the second division. A bit of a smaller club, but in terms of atmosphere, I think it's probably similar to Wrexham. If I see like what's going on there, the atmosphere there is always great. I've been to a lot of matches there, and it's always great going there. Even though the football isn't great, the atmosphere is great. The people are great. A lot of people within my surroundings go to every match, so I always join them whenever I go, and it's always a good time. But my main team, Ajax, they used to be good. This season, not so good.
You can have 10 Hag back.
Sorry?
You can have 10 Hag back.
Well, when he was with us, he was better than he has at United. Yeah.
June 6th, if you can get to Rotterdam, Canada's coming over to shock the world. Part of our Copa America build-up, we got the Dutch and then we got the French. So
that'd be interesting. Yeah, Rotterdam. I even though it's the biggest rival of my main team, Feyenoord, they have the nicest stadium too. So I might get a ticket for a Canadian match then.
Joel
I've only ever been to one Dutch stadium. It was Arnhem Vitesse. Liverpool were playing in the UEFA Cup, probably early 2000s, and they destroyed them. But Liverpool had a very poor team at the time. But no, it was great. The atmosphere, the ultras behind the goal with the massive drums and the flags, and at that time there was a real surge to try and drive and get the 12th man set up at the racecourse in the tech end, where we were trying to invest in big flags, trying to get the big drums and the atmosphere going across the whole stand. Typically you'll go to either home or away. Away games for me, the atmosphere is so much better because everyone's been on the ale. You've been drinking on the bus down, maybe but especially in the National League where 20 of the teams were all based down south, so you'd be in for a real day out. I think the worst season we only had 3 teams up in the northwest to travel to, so there was a lot of long Tuesday, Saturday road trips, which obviously led to not as many fans. They weren't sellouts as they often are nowadays, but going back to some great road trips. The atmosphere, the singing, the getting behind the team, and I think some Colchester fans were saying how impressed. I seen a video on Twitter the other day or Facebook about just filming the Wrexham fans singing towards the end of that game, and they were like, "Wow, what fans! Unbelievable!" And it seems very much that way at the racecourse across the ground today.
Today, I found it really interesting with regards to who was singing in the stadium. And I've heard comments online about the cop not singing. And yeah, it's true. Very little from the cop end today.
Is that where you were sitting?
Yeah, that's where I was in the cop, yeah. And they were only jumping on the tail end of other people's chants. And there was nothing coming from the main stand at all. Now, I don't know if that's partly because the quiet stand is there as well. I don't know how much of that is kind of supposed to be the quiet zone. But yeah, it was all coming from the tech end mainly, and a little bit from the same stand that the away supporters were in as well. But I don't know if that's normal or the Yale. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's normal or not.
PG7, so obviously PG stand, when the Mould Road stand was built, Price Griffiths was the chairman. He's the one that when he sold up, obviously Alex Hamilton took the club over and the freehold, and things went drastically downhill for many years. So so it's called PG1 to PG7, the different blocks of the Mould Road. So I think it's PG7, which is nearest the tech end. There's a group, I think Tommy Couse and Wayne from the Turf and a few others who do a bit of singing. You'll see that sometimes or hear that sometimes from that end of the ground. And obviously prior to the kickoff. They've recently got this massive flag that like crowd surfs. It looks like something in the Kop or Old Trafford maybe. What I would say about the Kop at the moment, obviously I grew up when I was 13-year-old on the Kop, and he had a tin shed. The sound, the acoustics, the noise carried. What you find now is a lot of the fans who are in a position where they try and get pay-as-you-go tickets in the Kop stand, maybe not as regular, so maybe don't know the song, and maybe some newer fans, because a lot of I think there's about 5,000-6,000 season tickets scattered around the ground, so typically it will be the upper tier of the tech end that does most of the singing. There's a lot of the young lads up there, but rest assured, when that new Kop stand's built, it's going to be a thing of beauty. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I just think nobody's asserted themselves in there, and unfamiliarity on any given day as to who's there. So I think that's the reason. I've got Connor, who's been sitting patiently in the wings here. I don't know Connor. When I get a private message that says no drama, it makes me assume that he's from a different club. But let's bring Connor in there. And how are you? And maybe I should ask, instead of your Wrexham jersey, just based on the comment, are you a Wrexham fan or a fan of a different club?
Yes.
No. Go ahead and tell us your history and where you're from and how you became a Wrexham fan, and then your thoughts on the game or otherwise.
Well, live in hope, die in Caergurley, so that's my position. But obviously, when I was 18, I moved to university, and then I left for 10 years, unfortunately. But I was a huge season ticket holder for the Dennis Smith era, Brian Carey, Brian Little.
Good team.
It was good.
Last time we got promoted.
So I saw us go from League One to League Two, and then the Ryan Valentine penalty to keep us in against Boston, and so then obviously I left and moved to the side of the world for a good sort of 10, 12 years. So I came back 3-4 years, and luckily my dad held the season ticket, so we're both on. We both share it, So he was there today. He's retiring this year, so there's going to be talks in the next couple of days. Who's going to be doing each home game, etc. So, unfortunately, my dad went today, and I watched it from home. Very much watching it and seeing how it went, and I was very, very impressed. Very
awesome. And so you've done what. You can feel free to talk about just your thoughts on either the run-in and what's going to happen here and what your predictions are. You can feel free to talk about anything that you saw on the TV that set you afire. Just generally, I'm curious to know your thoughts.
We just got to take each game by game. Don't have to look at any other team now. It's just down to ourselves. And, this game, it shows that we don't need to look at Mansfield, MK, Stockport. We don't need to look at anyone else. We just need to focus on ourselves and stop worrying about everyone else, because at the end of the day, we've got a full depth of squad there. Cleworth played some great balls in today. O'Connell, the way he took the ball and just comes through, you don't see a central defender take that ball through the midfield, pretty much through the strikers and playing balls in like that. That is brilliant. I thought that was awesome. And, McLean goes tackling like there's no tomorrow. They're brilliant. And we need to just keep behind the team. And, you have a lot of fans that might jump on the bandwagon and just criticise, but you've just got to keep supporting them. Just keep supporting them. And that's it. That's all they want. That's all they want. And
I'm with you 100%. I'm going to come back to your thoughts and grab those up. Time's winding down. I've got to get back to work. Josh has other things to do. So I'm just going to pass the mic over to him. And Josh, what do you got coming up this week? We're leading up to Saturday. And then we're going to end up doing some neutral watches together. Why don't you give a plug there for the local pundit? And if you're not watching on the stream, go over to @theLocalPundit, Twitter, YouTube, and hit subscribe and do all that stuff. Josh, fire it up.
We're doing the 16th, right? You and I together with the group.
16th and the 20th, I think, if we can, if it becomes relevant, and maybe we don't do it because we don't care. Let's see.
I marked it off on the calendar. So 16th to 20th, Red Horde and anyone that are going to put some things, local pundit things together. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. And good to catch up with everybody, and good to see some familiar faces and put some faces to the names as well. Everyone, so thank you so much. I'll do a Wrexham reaction maybe tomorrow if I'm up for it tonight. I'll do it tonight. But this is an amazing day, and what you're doing, Sean and the rest of the group, and Dazzle and Race Course and all these guys. And it's good to see you. Sheldon, absolute legend. Sheldon, absolute legend today. If you haven't seen what he's done today, go check it out. But thank you. It's good to have this, and great community. Everything's growing here across all the communities. So yeah, thank you, man, for having me on. We'll check that soon. All right, brother.
Beautiful stuff. And I might watch. Yeah, go ahead, Josh. I might watch that.
Go ahead.
I might watch Sheldon's video in the off season, but right now there's too much envy going on, and it's just going to end up. I'll just stay focused. Yeah, no, that's a mocking laugh if I've ever heard one. Love it. Okay, Josh, thank you so much. At the Local Pundit, YouTube, Twitter, go and hit subscribes and likes and keep it going. I much appreciate you, Josh. Oh, and I don't have. I'm not on my remote. I've got
Too slow.
There. I usually have two screens going, and I'm able to monitor one with the chat and one with the control of the cameras. And today, for whatever reason, one of them doesn't want to work. So I'm doing it all slowly through the laptop there. Josh, thanks so much for everything. Okay, we'll come back to Connor, and then we'll come back to Erwin. I've got to wind things down a little bit, so I won't do a shout out for anybody that wants to jump back in. We'll probably just wrap it up with here. And I do want to get the wrap up from Sheldon as to his whole take on the day that was, or the days that have been, while he's been over there. So let's start with Erwin, as far as your goodbyes, final thoughts and final shout outs from you, and your take on the next 3 games for us, 5.
I think as everybody else said, we have to just take it game by game, see what happens. I think by this weekend we might have an answer already, whether we're going up or not. But obviously we just got to do our best, win games, and hopefully we can still either get the championship, but at least go up. That's all I'm hoping for.
It's a great time. I mean, I feel like we've robbed people joining in here in the 11th hour. 2 years, 3 years ago, for many of us, that we're getting so much glory for some of the people that have been having to toil through, as Connor was talking about, some of the darker days. But it's an amazing time to be a fan of the club, and long may it continue. And appreciate you, Erwin, for A, joining us, and B, for following along with everything at Wrexham and the social media stuff. It's awesome to have you, and so credit to you. Thanks, Erwin. And we'll give him the bump. And I've got Baz back, so before we go to Connor, I'll just add Baz, who must have a connection issue. Connor, a question for you. What are your thoughts on, 2.5 million quid is what internationals have brought to the club, separate and apart from Ryan and Rob's ownership, but joining onto a chat where you've got people from around the globe here with just a couple of Wrexhamites. What's your take on that, being a local guy who's now been sort of displaced and moved somewhere else in the country?
Well, no, I've been back now 3 years.
Oh, 3 years. Okay.
Yeah. I come back when Rob and Ryan took over. It was just
good
before
timing.
when you had, Rutherford and, etc. that were playing, and my dad was sort of saying, we'll take you back to the game. I said, yeah, absolutely. I'm still getting 100% on board with these guys. And I came just before they took over, so I was still always Wrexham at heart. Wrexham, even if you're on the other side of the world. So, and then I think the next season, Rob and Ryan took over. But obviously, when I was living in New Zealand, Australia at that time, I was still following them. But I was like, God, this place is going nowhere. It was a tough time. But I was there at the tough times when we went down to the
before all the way down. Yeah.
Yeah. So
having us as the mob coming and joining on a chat here, where we were mostly populated internationally, I think, because of the nature of the home game. What's your take on that? Frustrating, welcome, a blessing, a curse?
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And sometimes I like to see the take on Americans, Canadians, anyone that sees us play well. It only does well for the town. I call it a town. It still is. It's a city, but it's a town. It's a community. I think it's great. I think the more that people jump on it, the more that people. I live in a village called Hope. My dad the other day saw 7 people from Texas go and see Kai Gurley Castle. And he just bumped into him. It's great. It's good for the country, and now a lot of people in America know where Wales is, what it is, and it is a country. So there's nothing but good things. I can't say anything better.
I'm with you on that one. I appreciate you joining and signing up and having your 2 cents here. I'm going to just, because I've got to go and do a couple of final things here. So I'm going to give you the boot and say thanks for everything, and you're awesome, and hope to see you around. The boot, I had to put it on with a Canadian accent. And then we'll do Baz and get his 2 cents here in the bump, and then we'll talk to Sheldon to wrap up with the whole experience of what was over there. Thanks, Connor.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Baz. So just
can
looking
you
to
see
wrap
me?
everything
Because
up.
on my mobile, the screen's blacked out for some reason.
Yeah, no, you're perfectly centered, and in fact, I thought maybe you might be frozen because you haven't even moved at all. You've been stoic for forever. I thought you were frozen.
I when it all went a bit Pete Tong was I came downstairs because on my wall in my living room here there's a limited edition print which has got Ryan Valentine's goal that Connor referred to earlier from the Boston game, and on the print it's got the scoreline of Wrexham 0, Bolton 1. Now that was a game that we needed to draw to stay in the Football League, or was it? I think it might have been when we were in League One. Yeah, it was. And anyway, half time, crying into my beer. And Ryan Valentine got a penalty in the second half. He scored, then Chris Llewellyn scored and took his shirt off, threw it in the Mould Road stand, got a yellow card, and I think there was another goal as well. I think we won 3-1. But yeah, I love that picture, you know what I mean? So as soon as he mentioned that, I thought, come bring it down. I don't know why my screen's blacked out. So yeah, just shameless plug then. So obviously, please, if you haven't already, we've put a 24-minute video out 3 o'clock this morning. I think it went live. So I didn't get much sleep last night. Straight after this, I'm going straight to bed to catch up. But it's got all Paul Mullins 100 goals. We're going to keep doing the pre-match previews, joining the post 90-minute chats. One thing I would say is that I've got membership envy, Sean. I want to give a big shout out to John, who's Dazzle Publishing, our channel Watching Wrexham FC, putting on a show. If anyone's listening in that hasn't already tuned in and seen some of our videos, we've got about 125 videos, match day vlogs, interviews with players, ex-managers, things like that. And we've got loads of stuff planned over the summer during the quiet season. So if you haven't already, jump in, make sure you hit the subscribe button, just purely because you don't want to miss anything. We're aiming to get to 1,000 subscribers. And it was indeed, Hugh, it was April 2007. No, it wasn't. No, you're lying to me, Hugh. It was actually the 5th of May 2007, and it was 3-1. You're right. But yeah, please subscribe. And we've also now, say, because we've punched through the 500 barrier with our subscribers, want to reach 1,000 really. A lot of work, time, effort, and I've got a great editor now who's putting some great content together with the stuff I'm filming. And we do it because we want to entertain you guys that can't get to the race course, can't get to Wrexham. I've got loads of great ideas what we're going to do over the summer. So please make sure you subscribe. And if you want to give us a super thanks, show your appreciation, there's different levels and also memberships. So I'm going to give a big shout out to John, who's our first ever member. Thanks so much, John. He was giving me, telling me that I needed to give you a bit of grief about your singing earlier, but I felt that would have been a bit disingenuous after you're hosting such a great show tonight. I didn't want to bring it down.
I appreciate it. No, so
Marie Killen, thanks for subscribing. Look at that, as live as you like.
Yeah, down below on my blah 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 on my description. If you need to bounce over there, I've got the link to him. You can find him on the internet or on Twitter as well. So Baz, much appreciation, much love, and we'll catch you. And then I'm going to wrap things up with Sheldon as the camera shows off the Boston United 3-1 win. Awesome. May 2007, if I got that right. Sheldon.
Yo.
Good, sir. You've probably got stories, and I don't want to rush you. You're probably going to save some of those for the local pundit, and I think you probably should, because I'm sure there's a lot to go in there. But why not throw us a couple bones here as to how that was as an experience and whatever you wanted to add?
I've had a great time. It is obviously a little tight, flying over and flying back so quickly. It's a long journey getting up here. Didn't get in till 4 a.m. local time, which felt like 6 a.m. to me. And then up today, out to the match, and home tomorrow. But it's been great. Seeing everything from the cop. I'm gonna switch the light on because somebody switched it off. Seeing everything from the cop was really interesting because it is a different feeling from watching on TV. I was a lot less concerned with the amount of possession that Crawley had than Josh and the guys were doing the watch along. because obviously I was listening to them at the same time in my ear. Yes, we allowed them the possession, and I've been harsh on this in other matches before our style. But today it did seem less worrisome. Now, the same old thing is always true. If they scored first, it could have been a completely different match, and a different situation. But I was very surprised the noise wasn't much louder from the racecourse.
Interesting,
Like we discussed it just briefly.
Yeah, and was that just a cop end because you were there? Because Stacey said that was one of the loudest that she's ever heard earlier in the show. So maybe expectations didn't just weren't met, or whether was it potentially because you were sitting? Do you think?
It's hard to know, obviously, considering it's the first time at the racecourse. There was singing, but it was coming mainly from one end, but it wasn't maybe as consistent as I had expected it to be, stuff like that. Because interestingly, I did go to the Stockport match, and obviously when you only have a small number of away fans, and they're all kind of extreme fans, for want of a better word, they know all the songs and they sing all the time, trying to get everything working. And considering we lost that match 5-0, it was just a completely different take on things. Now, you can say as well, the boys didn't need it. They were comfortably winning. It wasn't a difficult match, and maybe it would be different if we were scraping at a 1-1 draw, trying to get the win. Maybe then you might need the crowd a bit more. So, yeah, it just surprised me a little bit.
Yep. No, good stuff. And then you got to have your fair shake of chatting to a whole bunch of people. I'm looking forward to hearing that, and I probably will end up watching. So I don't want to take away the steam from the local pundit, because I assume you're probably putting some stuff together.
It's already live. I did it. I did the whole thing live.
Oh, you did it all live, so it's all out
Before
there.
The match.
So there you go. There's the bump. If you want more, we got
Yeah.
286. It was up high. We were over 300 today as far as concurrent viewers. So if you're sitting here still watching this, and when we go offline here, the next move over to the local pundit. Well, first go to Racecourse Ramble, give it a bump. Welsh Beast, give it a bump. Two Beards Wrexham, Dazzle Publishing. Hit those guys up, subscribe, and on the way, end up at the local pundit. And Sheldon's going to have his take on what was going on.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to end up watching that.
So we basically did a pre-match event. I just went live because I have keys to his show. So I just switched it on, and he jumped on then shortly afterwards to join me. And basically we did about an hour, maybe, something like that. And as the players were coming through, I was taking shots, doing the video, talking to some of them, which was interesting. And that was good fun, completely different than the usual, obviously. And I was trying to jump in where I could during the live as well, the live stream. But that was a little bit difficult because the internet was a bit shaky.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing I don't know if you mentioned at all today was Okonkwo. I was with Mad Al, and Mad Al said, sorry, one second. Yeah. I was just sorry. So he pointed out that Mad Al pointed out that Okonkwo was not kicking the ball. And as soon as he pointed it out to me, I started paying attention to it and paying attention to Okonkwo, the way he's walking and everything. And I believe he only kicked the ball twice in the entire match. So it does look like he's favouring one of his legs. He may have tweaked the hamstring. And I think he is playing through injury at the moment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna rewatch the highlights and see how that all boiled down. I've got to wrap things up. An hour and a half. That's as long as I can have for it. So Sheldon, thanks for that. And I'm going to end up giving you the bump, and then I'll just close off for the day. I did see the comment about the whether the fourth wall was going to come down. I don't think it's been particularized as of yet, but there's been discussions that there's going to be a 12-month time limit on that. And I mean, the reality is we want to build the cop up. So it coming down, it'll probably stay up for as long as it can until it's time to come down, because they've got the money in and can start the construction. at the end of the day, that was an amazing performance, 4 exceptional goals, lots of hunger, lots of fight, just natural flowing stuff. I appreciate everything that has happened in the after 90 minutes. The people that joined us for the first time, the people who are normally here, Dazzle Publishing, the local pundit. Carl wasn't here from the Welsh Beast, but he's there frequently. The Two Beards there in Australia, they've got a different time zone. It's late for them for this one. And Matt probably enjoyed that at the race course itself. So much love and appreciation for the community getting together and having its chat and doing its thing. It's why we do it. Go around to the cycle, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the content that's being created. And we will be here. Local pundit will have their watch party on Saturday. I will have a watch party on Saturday, or watch along, however you want to call it. Different interest, different way of covering it. Pick your poison. We all are having fun doing it, and we're glad that you guys are along for the journey. And more importantly, for the journey that is Wrexham AFC, as we are that close to securing an automatic promotion spot. And then we'll just let the season be what the season will be, and we'll look forward to League One. Hopefully that's the case, and we can talk about it on Saturday. We'll be around. Have a good one, and thanks for being a part of it. Take care, everybody.